I guess it's a Terry tale.
What's the unboxing? What'd it be? Well, I don't know. Shut up and see.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is a book that got everybody all worked up recently. Simon & Schuster in their newsletter said, hey, out of the blue, we're going to do a special edition of Fairy Tale. And this book is going to be, have a ribbon page marker, gilded edges, and then they said with a painted case. So when people read that, they're like, a painted case? They must mean slipcase. Oh, this is going to be a great special edition. So everybody got all worked up and they're ready to order it. And they're like, oh, there's a 2-copy limit per household. And if you buy 2 copies, you have to buy them separately, as a way to ensure that more people get the book that want the book. And anyway, it didn't quite turn out as special as people had hoped. Let's check in with the Magic Duff Bucket real quick, and then we can get on to why it wasn't so special. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? What's up? Hey, what you doing there? Why you... Oh, my gosh! Oh, he's pulling it right out of my head! He pulled it right and he's pulling it out of my insides! Oh, that Duff Bucket. What a delight. Let me open it up and we'll get to talking about the book with the book in the rooms. Like, we're not talking about the book behind the book's back. Some people were saying that they don't like it when these big publishers get into the small publishing game. And I agree. If you're a big publisher and you do trade editions and you're all about chopping down trees to make paper to sell for paper, then you really don't need to get into the art of the bookmaking process. You're really not about the bookmaking process. You're about the business of book selling, which is true. But then if you remember, Doubleday did the coffin edition of The Stand that is the holy grail of Stephen King collectors. But then somebody else pointed out, yes, but that book wasn't very well made. It actually falls apart if you don't lay it flat. So there's a lot of back and forth, but I agree. Ultimately, leave the fine press to the small presses, and then big publishers should just worry about trade editions. Because here's what you get. You get a book shipped like crap. Like this book is sliding around in there. So I'm not too happy about that. As I said, a lot of people were saying that this was not nearly as special as people thought it would be, because it's a slam dunk. If you say there's a special edition of a King book, it's a slam dunk. It's going to sell. People will buy it, and they'll flood the website. They'll crash the website. They'll be looking for their copy, and they're going to be looking for multiple copies so they could sell other copies. So, but here's what you got. It is not even, it's just loosely wrapped with bubble wrap. And that's the box. So, are there dinged corners? No, it doesn't look like there are dinged corners, but it was a dangerous game to ship it like that. I think I got a relatively unscathed copy. So here we go. We got the gilded edges, ribbon page marker, and then a painted case. So where people were thinking they were getting a slipcase was on the description page. They said printed case, and the case is the casing. That's the front and back boards of the book is the case. So what they're saying is that there's no dust jacket. The art is painted right onto the case. You see? It's a painted case. It's not a painted slip case or a tray case. So this is it. This is the book. No other items came with it. And it is cloth. Now, the PS Publishing, when they do printed boards, it's like laminate or glossy. But this is a cloth. It's cool. I like it. I like the feel of the book. And it's kind of unexpected. It smells very nice. there is a bit of texture, embossing to the lettering on the book, both the spine and the boards, which I won't call them a case. And then it has this piece of art on the back, which is different than the trade edition, the U.S. trade edition. But I will say the paper quality is trade paper, trade edition quality. This paper is nothing special. It's exactly what you would get with the trade edition. But another upgrade to this edition is the artwork. Now, there were two artists involved with this publication, the trade edition. Gabriel Rodriguez and Nicholas Delort. They tag teamed on the chapter art. So there's art at the beginning of every chapter, and Gabriel Rodriguez does like even numbered or odd numbered chapters and vice versa. So they trade off, and they also did end sheets for this edition. So this is Nicholas Delort's art, and this is Gabriel Rodriguez. I will take pictures so you can get a more leisurely look if you'd like at the end. So it feels thicker, and that could just be the gilding, the gilded edges, but it feels thicker than the trade. I was hoping they would surprise people with signatures. Maybe the first 100 come with a signature, but that's not the case. I will say, holding this, I'm happier than I thought I would be. I think this is a cool book. It's exactly what you would get with a trade publisher trying to do a limited edition. This is the U.S. dust jacket art, and the paper quality's the same. This is manufactured in the United States of America. If you recall, the first edition of Fairy Tale, the trade editions, some were made in the U.S. and some were printed in Italy. And the ones printed in Italy were of a lesser quality. I don't have any of the Italian editions to compare, but I did see one that was printed in Italy at a bookstore, and the paper was really bad. So I can understand that while both are considered first editions, there is a preferred first edition. I'm happy that this is printed in the U.S. and of that better quality. But it is still a slight notch above a trade edition. Now, all that said, I am happy that I got this book. I am more pleased with it than I thought I would be. But it was not worth the price. They charged $100 for this, and it's not worth $100. This reminds me of Lizzie Story's book club edition, which is this. Now, this came with a slipcase, a sleeve, a movable a sleeve that I don't know what function it serves, but it's cool because it brings more of that cover art to the slipcase. And then the book itself had printed boards. Now this is more like that laminate, sort of like a library binding. And it also has a ribbon page marker. Because it's a book club edition, there is no price on it. I bought it off of eBay for like $50, but people were selling these for, at the time, I think I saw some sales go for $35. So I bought it a few years ago. I did the unboxing on this channel. I talk about it a lot. But this book even has more to it than this edition of Fairy Tale. This is more special. Sure, it doesn't have the gilded edges, and it doesn't have the art on the end papers, but it has that cool slipcase, which is a nice upgrade. That justifies the $100 price point, or at least it would have gotten closer to justifying that $100 price point. Signature also would have sent it right over the top. Another comparison that comes to mind is with the special edition of Later by Hardcase Crime. This edition came with 2 dust jackets. This is the alternate dust jacket, and a ribbon page marker, and it was at a more limited print run. I don't know how many of these there were, but this was only $50. So it is a special edition. It was a hardcover. of a book that was only previously available in paperback, and it had the 2 dust jackets and the ribbon page marker, and it had that limited quality to it, but for just $50. The reason I mention Later and Lizzie's Story, those editions, is to kind of give a sense of what you can get for cheaper and still be considered a limited or a special edition done by a trade publisher. Now, for comparison to the trade edition, here they are. This is the trade right next to the special edition. You can see the art is the same, but once you flip it, you have the gilded pages. Now, I will say the trade edition looks a little thicker. I don't know if that's just optical confusion or what it is. You get the bonus art on the back board, because this one doesn't have it on the dust jacket, and the boards are just blank. But like I said, the art and the paper quality inside is identical between these 2 editions. So was it worth the leap in price? No. I think Simon & Schuster was just capitalizing on having their boy King as their author and created a special edition. And I don't know if you could still buy it. When I go to the site to buy the book, the buy button is still there. It doesn't say out of print. I can click on it. I can add it to my cart. I can go through the process for shipping. Of course, I don't go beyond that because I don't want to buy another copy. But it looks like it's still available. Now, other people have told me that when you do go through with the ordering process, you get a cancellation email that they canceled your order, that there aren't copies available. So I don't know why they wouldn't just disable the button and prevent all that hassle. Maybe the people that get their orders canceled have bought more than their 2 per household limit. I don't know. I don't know what the story is. But ultimately, I am glad I have it. I like having this special edition. Will it appreciate in value? I don't know. Anything's possible. But it's not signed. It doesn't have a slipcase. And a lot of people were wondering what the big fuss over this book was, because everybody rushed out to get a copy. Of course, it's Stephen King. It's a special edition. So we'll see where it lives on in the Stephen King collector world. Will it be dismissed like the Lizzie's Story book was? Because this isn't all that expensive on the secondary. Although finding it with the sleeve is a little harder than you might think. Especially since this book was, 2006? It's a long time ago. So that's it. I'll take some pictures, share it with you at the end. You can go out. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see if you can snag a copy if you're of a mind. I know I didn't really sell this book, and I wasn't trying to. But I am glad I have it. I liked it better than I thought I would, especially after hearing all that online chatter about the disappointment of no slipcase. A bunch of people canceled their orders because they were not happy about it. It felt like a cash grab, and it pretty likely was. So, some more books to come. Stick around. Pull up a chair, grab a beverage, grab a book. Stay frosty.